with modern-day implications for Black Americans. We've seen a growing movement to reframe how American history is taught in public schools. Well, some parents are opposed to critical race theory as new curriculum art to please.
Joy the boy, I do not support you.
Want critical race theory taught to my children in school does not mean that I'm a racist, damn it.
It actually does.
You not pro-black. You or Nicole Hannah
Just like their politically motivated
Jones.
Transgender youth who just want to play sports. Joining me now is Pulitzer Prize.
No, it's more than just wanting to play sports. Joy the boy.
And Charlotte Clymer, transgender activist and former press secretary for the Human Rights Campaign. Two of my favorite follows on Twitter, brought to life. Nicole, I have to go to you first.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Throwing WBD Du Bois down,
And you ain't no better. You a Boulay associate. You're not for the black community. You ain't no different. Nicole Jones.
Date in history. Dates like 1776, the Declaration of Independence, 1787, the Constitution, Civil War. That's the sort of things that are important, not that. And he's also said that he's attacking President Biden's anti-racism focus. He said it's divisive. And he's joining in the protests against teaching systemic racism, saying it would give students a slanted story. Your thoughts?
Well, one, I don't know how you teach about 1865 without acknowledging that 1619 was an important year, being that 1865 occurs because we began slavery in 1619. But also, clearly,
Is that the 14th Amendment?
1619 was an important date for Mitch McConnell's own family because his own family left Virginia, came to Alabama to start cotton forced labor plantations, owned dozens.
A lot happened in 1865 and 1866. Joy the boy Reid, and Nicole
No one can argue that 1619 was not a
Jones.
date in American history. It nearly led to the demise of our entire nation. In 1865, but also it was personally important for Mitch McConnell himself. So when you hear people like him saying that teaching the actual facts of American history are divisive, maybe that's because we have a divisive history in this country. So he's not arguing that we shouldn't
That
teach
y'all
the
keep supporting.
truth. He's just saying that the truth is too difficult for apparently our nation to bear, and that we're far too fragile to be able to withstand the scrutiny of the truth.
Thank you for first, because now we understand why he doesn't want to talk, because like, I don't want to, Charlotte, Nicole was tweeting earlier today that, Du Bois wrote, and I think this is so brilliant that people should really read more Du Bois.
Pay attention. Woke black, pro-black community. You're seeing hypocrisy unfolded right before you.
Either to inform you and make you know it, make you understand the past, or to assuage your need to feel heroic. And American history has, up until now, really been taught as a balm to make Americans feel patriotic and feel good about the country, not as a way to inform people. Most Americans don't know very much about American history. It strikes me that the trans...
Apparently you as well.
Sort of almost cut against this need for Americans to feel heroic. Trans kids might be, the biggest, sort of easy to victimize children. There's not a lot of trans
You are emboldened through these white apple leads to speak explicitly and in detail your opinions about transgender and black issues, but you are not for the black community, Joy Reid. Neither are you. Y'all gonna deal with Oprah. Go eat them Oprah cookies.
They have nothing left. They weren't able to offer solutions to health care for people's economic woes, for our national security. Under Donald Trump's watch, 500,000 years. They have nothing left. They weren't able to offer solutions to health care.
The Democrats running out too. That's why they're using African and ADOS to make their gripes, to validate their gripes, but they do not support solely the black community, especially the ADOS community. Ms. Jones, who built this country, and this country has been distributed through generations of wealth from our people.
And by the way, when they go to attack trans kids,
we have birthrights in this country.
They're showing pictures of young black trans
And y'all
women,
helping them by whitewashing
young white girls, cis white girls.
the black ideologies because y'all had the media.
Send a message that
Y'all had the upper hand. Y'all had the media on your side. Black Lives Matter had the Times Network on the Times Foundation on their side. Those are powerful, not-for-profit,
And I'm glad you said that because there is that intersectional argument. Because
Financial.
the thing is that the
Financial.
easiest sort of tick to go to is fear of black bodies, right? And even, we do all
Those
these stories about
fiscals.
policing. You made another really good point that I think the media needs to absorb. This isn't like a
Hold
political
on,
story, right? It's a story about what we're going to call ourselves as a country, and you really can't extricate enslavement from any of it, including policing. So, talk to us a little bit about how can we talk about this in a more holistic way, because even the policing story is so rooted in enslavement that you cannot separate the two. And what Charlotte just said is the black body is the easy go-to, even when the real issue you want to play around with is trans sports.
Absolutely. I mean, the entire argument of the 1619 Project is that slavery predates almost every other American institution. That means that it is foundational and embedded.
Nicole Hannah-Jones is fake, y'all. She do not support the ADOS community. She's for the black elitists, the black boulets, and she's using African and ADOS to make our culture and our communities to make herself, to build her brand. I'm gonna go and say to build her brand. So shut up, Ms. Jones.
Which show what black people have always known. Marginalized people have to fight for the rights of all marginalized people because it never stops at just marginalizing one group. All of us suffer when we allow other people to be
Talk about how ADOS is marginalized. Talk about how gay, pro-black people are marginalized for not supporting LGBT organization.
For girls to be treated the same way in men's sports, they only care about these issues if they can use them as a wedge. They're not actually fighting.
Again, here's the hypocrisy.
Absolutely, and you're right. And the intersectional
concerned about protecting girls' sports.
Here's the hypocrisy. Again.
For girls to be treated the same way in men's sports, they only care about these issues if they can use them as a wedge. They're not actually fighting for equality.
Absolutely, and you're right. And
Hypocrisy just been unfolded from Nicole Jones' lips. And Black Fox Network need to be ashamed of themselves. They did not talk about Patrice Colors. They did not talk about Patrice, the calm for people of colors, and her spending millions of dollars, or the BLM organization mishandling of millions of dollars in funds that was donated because of the youth, the black youth gave they all for that BLM organization, the black youth. I was in the south side of Chicago, still living there last year when the riots was going on. It was Hispanics, a few whites, and a lot of blacks out there protesting.
Every community has that.
Our only thing I support with BLM is the black youth, our young kids, 30 and younger, because they are misled. Look at this. This needs fixing. This needs help. It's a lot that isn't settled in this LGBT situation. This transgender situation needs to be revamped and relooked at. It is too soon to be putting it in the public school curriculum for young kids. Y'all are misleading people, and especially the ADOS community.
And she is a hateful person who has no problem attacking trans people to build her brand.